We'd like to give a special shout out to the following people for making this episode and the rest of Act 3 possible. Louis, Malaya, Reg, Daniel Athern, Osterkim, Vanna, Finch, Dr. Dan Venning, Sleepless Berry, Court, Rogue Canoe, John and Muna, Sadie, Zay the Great, Elliot Kane, and Trident. Thank you for your support. Maraming salamat. You're listening to Nhea by Motzie Dapul. Episode 50. Pagpapasiya.
Yeah, see you soon. Glad you had a good Christmas, man. I'll see you later.
Careful not to scare the cat, dear.
Sorry. You're telling me that Mikey is short for Magnus Ichabod?
It's a lovely, dignified name. Magnus for my uncle, Ichabod for my favorite storybook character. And Mikey's always been the serious type. Name always suited him, even when he was young.
I can't actually judge. My nickname back home was Chai, and my actual name is Marilag Precious. At least his nickname makes sense, right?
Precious. Aren't you just? I'm glad you decided to stay the night, sweetheart. I heard you were having a rough time of it, and nobody ought to spend Christmas alone.
Thank you, ma'am.
You'll call me Nan like the rest of them when they arrive. Mikey! What time should I expect Rick and his boys?
A couple of hours, Nan. Just enough time to embarrass the hell out of me in front of my guest.
Oh, don't look at me. I'm just playing with a cat.
Well, I know when I'm not wanted. I'll get lunch ready. You two get cozy. You three get cozy.
Need any help with anything?
Oh, my baby boy. If I need any help, you'll know.
So, Magnus.
Don't start. Precious.
She's right. It does suit you. How much does she know?
She knows what I get up to isn't normal, but she doesn't ask much. She just tells me if I don't come home, she'll come charging into hell to come get me if she has to.
She does seem like the type. Oh, little girl, you're the cutest little soulless monster, aren't you? The fluffiest little cursed body horror creature. Little freak of nature that shouldn't exist.
Should I ask?
This little baby that you picked up is a strange one. She doesn't seem to have a soul, and yet she seems like a full being. I've never seen that before.
What does that mean?
It's hard to explain, but some of Jay's notes that I read sort of helped me understand things better. I always knew there was a difference between a ghost and a soul, but I never knew exactly what it was. Because souls are a power unto themselves, made and unmade by none but gods. Ghosts are like echoes, memories left behind, reflections, imprints of souls that have existed in this world, but left for the next. If a death was violent, or if there was an emotion strong enough to make an imprint, anger, sadness, love, joy, there are ghosts. And these ghosts can continue to exist in this world soulless, mixing into the fabric of reality or manifesting where the veil is thin. Pocket is a memory of a cat, somehow made whole. A memory of other things, too. The boys your cousin met at the William Crypt. Have you seen her become them before?
No. I've never seen her as anything other than a cat.
Maybe that's what she wants. The pocket watch, its power... Pocket has been around since Jay's time, and maybe long before that. Ghosts don't tend to do more than repeat the moment of their death, or the paths their souls took in life. They don't tend to be... this. But Pocket, she's her own cat. And she picked you, maybe as much as she picked Jay. Maybe she could sense your good heart.
Well, if she says it, I guess it's got to be true.
But you need a cat to tell you that?
Well,
Why don't you think you're a good man, Donner?
do you remember Michael?
Yes.
Everything about his life was a mirror of mine. The only difference is that I had Dooley. I had someone in my life to tell me I wasn't crazy. Someone who gave me answers, a path to follow. If I didn't have him, who's to say I wouldn't have turned out like Michael?
Well, that's life, right? This is the world we live in. This is the path we're on. These were the cards we were dealt. What's the use of what ifs? Not that I'm one to talk, but I know you're a good man. And you trust me, right?
Always. I trust you.
Mm. Oh, so you're on tape recorder duty now.
Thought I'd come prepared, since this is our first big meetup in a while. So,
Mm-hmm.
heard you spent the night at Casa Donner,
Sure did.
which, doesn't really have a guest room right now.
Murphy,
Mari, why do you look like I'm gonna kill you?
I'm so sorry
For what?
for...
Mari, hey, you don't have to apologize for being happy. I know we're still a bit raw between us, but you're my people. I said I love you, and I don't say that lightly. I'm happy that you're happy, okay?
But...
Up. Shush. No more feeling sorry, especially not for me. I had a good Christmas, and I'm glad you did too.
Okay. Thank you, Murphy. Thank you, Murphy.
Ugh, don't thank me for not being a jealous asshole. But I will say, if you think you owe me or something, tell me everything.
Oh, God. Only if you tell me about your Christmas with Ashvin.
Oh, nothing special. Me and Ashvin got parent-trapped by my brother, who didn't know we'd already dated. Got us to confess our true feelings, and we got a good talk out of it.
Oh, that's... wow. So are you two...
Nah, not yet. But we're good. We're really good.
Want a hug?
Yeah.
Am I interrupting some bonding time?
Laura!
Just in time. Here. You hold this while I go help downstairs before Nan boxes my ears.
Oh, well, all right then. So,
Not you two.
I was gone for like a couple of days and I missed literally everything. You owe me the hot goss, and lots of it, because apparently, at least according to these texts, you spent the night here?
Yeah, well, it was a bit of an eventful Christmas. I'm gonna explain the really bad stuff when we're all settled in, but the rest of it, well...
Bill.
Well, I came here after something bad happened, and Donner found me in the cold. I, told him some things that I've never really told anyone else. I was exhausted by the end of it all, so he brought me inside and put me to bed.
And?
Mm-hmm.
What?
And we kissed and had sex in the childhood bedroom. Happy?
Are you happy?
Yeah, it wasn't a happy night, but at the end I felt good. Really good. Safe, happy, even giddy. I don't... When you find out what happened, you'll think I'm crazy for feeling any sort of happy at all, but...
I'll stop you right there. Take that guilt and stomp on it with my snow boots. Congrats! Literally no one deserves to feel good more than you. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, thanks.
Girl, I didn't even know Donner had sex.
Oh my god.
Because he always seemed like the kind of guy who'd frown disapprovingly at the whole concept.
Are we really gonna...
But apparently the man has secrets. What else isn't he telling us, I wonder? Is he a pro skater? Knits in his spare time? Cosplay?
It's weird, isn't it?
Which part?
I feel so normal talking about this with you. But there was nothing normal about the night I had. But this morning I had breakfast with the Donners. Sat in the living room with his Nan. Had a cat in my lap, and Nan told me embarrassing stories while flipping through photo albums. And there was this Christmas music in the background. I had one of the worst nights I've ever had in my life, but I haven't felt this happy about Christmas in years.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
Yeah?
It's kinda how I felt about meeting you. Worst day of my life, a trauma that's so seared into my brain that sometimes I still have nightmares about it, but it was also the day I met you. And I'd never give that up for anything.
Laura.
Come on, we've got a meeting. So he helped us with Langford, and he's been watching us this whole time? Could he be watching us right now?
I don't think so. I know how his magic feels now. However he's getting his information, I don't think it's just by being around when things happen. At least, not always.
So what now? Are we trusting the guy, or...
Any reason we're entertaining that notion?
Well...
He saved me. He saved my life.
When I found Donner after Bolden, I wasn't the one who pulled him out of danger. I don't remember the man's face, but I know now it was the Benefactor who saved him. I don't know why, but
It wasn't the first time. He saved me once before. From a focus when I was a child.
Ah. And you're sure it was him?
I've remembered that whistle ever since. And from what Mari said, Richard Henry wouldn't be the type. But, yes. I'm sure it was him. Well, the first time anyways. The second time, I trust Mari to know.
Given that it aligns with what he said about his intentions, because what would he gain from saving a kid from a focus, not knowing what you'd be later? Unless these guys somehow found a way to see the future.
You're the expert. Could they?
Oh, no. Seeing the future isn't as straightforward as people think. I had this friend, a manghuhula, a seer. Remind me to tell you later. The future isn't fixed. Things can change at a drop of a hat, but speaking a future into existence, it can manifest certain paths towards that outcome. Still, a choice is a choice, and circumstances are not fixed.
And how does this play into the Benefactor situation?
I wouldn't have trusted a word he said if it wasn't for Donner. He was honest about that. Honest about saving him for no other reason I can see other than that his intentions are pure. From what we already know, and what I've read in the Book of Elders we got from Jay, I think he might be a worthwhile ally.
But not a trustworthy one.
Says the con man.
Which is why I know what I'm talking about when I say that a lie is at its most dangerous when the one telling it is the one who buys into it.
I know I need to be cautious. I just want to keep you all up to speed. We know how dangerous the elders are, and we know their leader is more like their warden, and that things may have gotten so much worse so much faster if he wasn't around to keep them in line. There are still things I need to figure out, but having a way to contact him is better than worrying about him coming to us. The only thing I need to do now is talk to my new friend.
Which one? The monstrously powerful leader of monstrously powerful magicians? Or...
Yeah. The other one.
Merry fucking Christmas.
You're listening to Nhea by Motzie Dapul. Hey everyone, this is Motzie, creator of the Nhea podcast. Nhea is a podcast produced by myself, Yoi Halago, Alyssa Jimenez, and co-created by Reg Helly. This episode was co-produced by Jesse Goodsell, and written and directed by myself. I also play the role of Mari Datuin. The role of Donner is played by Leon Johnson. The role of Murphy is played by Edward Boxler. The role of Laura is played by Abigayle Rhodes. The role of Ashvin is played by Adil R. This episode features Nhea Durousseau as Nan Donner. If you'd like to chat with other listeners when this episode goes live, we do a live premiere every other Sunday at 9 p.m. EST or Toronto time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/HiNaiPod. To help support the production of Nhea, you can subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/HiNaiPod. You'll get to be part of our early access program where we release episodes 3 days early on Thursday at 9 p.m. EST or Toronto time. You can also get bonus content, and at the $10 tier, get bonus episodes. Speaking of Patreon, we'd love to give a shout out to the following patrons for all their amazing support. Dracukard, Sabine, Sean, Sharon Poplinsky, Josh the Alchemist, Jess Snow, Maddie Dermigio, Talon, Alan Weberman, Nanette Dapul, Matthew Upton, Anna, Sooks, Becca Terrier, Amelia Brownstein, Diana Cause, Melissa, Emma Heilig, Faye Fungi, Pablo Neurotic, Oster Kim, Evie Smith, Megan, Jesse Goodsell, Malaya Light, and Victoria Goodwin. If you can't subscribe monthly, you also have the option to buy us a milk tea on Ko-fi. Ko-fi.com/HiNaiPod, that's ko-fi.com/HiNaiPod. Our ad-free Nhea album, which has our official music and full episodes from Act 1 and 2, is also available on both Patreon and the Coffee Store. Check out our website, HiNaiPod.com, for more news and updates, and don't forget to follow us on our blog, HiNaiPod.tumblr.com, as well as our socials on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, Blue Sky, at HiNaiPod. HiNai is available on Acast and wherever you listen to podcasts. We hope you enjoy our Act 3 episodes, and as always, thank you, we love you, and hanggang sa muli.